This episode of MMA Nuts is brought to you by Freshly, chef-cooked healthy meals delivered to your door. Save $40 off the 6-meal plan for first-time users with code MMA639. J&P Cycles, the best aftermarket parts and accessories for your motorcycle. Save up to 30% off with code MMAN. HostGator, one of the top web hosting providers around. Save 60% off of shared hosting for 3 years with code MMA60. Misfit smartwatches and fitness trackers. Smartwatches packed with powerfully smart features. Get 50% off one item with code MMA15. Defense Soap, the ultimate soap for wrestlers, jiu-jitsu, and MMA athletes, with the new peppermint oil bars and shower gel. Use code MMA Nuts for 15% off. Hey fans, this is MMA Nuts, episode 362.
362!
My name is Ingo Weigel.
Back row at the show. By my fans, for my fans, we walk the line between serious and ridiculous. What's going on, Dirk Diggler?
Not much. As they say, what do you always say? I like lollipops in my mouth and butter in my ass.
Man, like simple things like lollipops in my mouth and butter in my ass.
That's right. Yes, that is life for me at this point. Sometimes you can have both, you know?
True.
You can eat your cake and...
You can have 3 lollipops in your mouth if you really want it.
And, yes, pickles and butter in your ass.
That's right.
But...
whatever gets in your way.
That's right. I want to talk to you about something because we didn't have a show last week.
Yep.
Happy belated Thanksgiving, y'all. Michael Bisping having a rough road recently in UFC, and obviously he got knocked out recently.
I thought he was the GOAT. You know, he's winning all these things. I thought he was the greatest middleweight ever. What happened?
Well, he now holds the record for the most knockdowns in the UFC.
Like him being knocked down?
Yes.
Okay.
Not for hitting people, but actually getting dropped. Oh, that's a better way to say it.
Yeah.
He's been dropped more times than anyone, 12 times. Dan Henderson's at 11, and Keith Stradine is at 10. So, do you think it was a good idea to allow him to fight?
No, I said that when they first announced it, that he had a rough fight. That wasn't just like a cakewalk, and he didn't win. So why are we letting him fight within 3-week span?
He got paid a lot of money to take that fight, though.
Yeah, I know, but again, it goes back to the brass at WME, Zuffa, whatever the fuck the company is, Endeavor, I think is his name. But they care so much about CTE. Why the fuck you gonna let Michael Bisping fight in 3 weeks' notice? Or you don't give a shit?
You don't care. He's drunk.
You
anyways.
care sometimes, but not all the time.
The booze keeps him healthy. His brain is okay because he's boozed up all the time.
No.
He's totally fine.
I'm totally okay with it. He should fight every week in my book.
Jeez. I wonder, you know, if this stat I just gave you, like out of all the guys, I mean, what's it going to look like 10 years from now? Is he going to be okay? I mean, that's a lot of times to get knocked down.
If you think about the football players that are all fucked up and they say it's in the high 90s, about 90 percentile of all the guys that have CTE, what's it going to be for MMA? It's got to be on par.
I agree.
If not worse. Think about all the blows they're taking. Oof. I mean, I guess it goes to your training camp as to how much sparring you're doing and how much trauma you're taking during.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if there's going to be any real changes regarding this, but, you know, it certainly needs to be looked at. And I thought they were heading in the right direction, perhaps with Mark Hunt, but then they let Bisping fight. So it looks to me like that Mark Hunt situation was more of like a personal problem, not as much trying to keep him safe, more of like they didn't like what he was saying.
Yeah,
in the
and
media
I think someone said that they'd flown Mark Hunt out to Vegas now to do additional testing. Oh. So, we'll see. I can guarantee he's going to pass that. Mm-hmm. He'll be right back in there.
With his one-word interview answers.
He got a little more vocal, but those used to be my favorite ones.
Yeah. Or he'd grunt.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Oh, you just knocked out this guy. How do you feel? Great. Okay. What should we do?
That's a good way to say it, but... Do you want to talk about this event that happened over the weekend? Because there was some major knockout on that one, too. Do you want to get right into it since we're on the topic?
Well, let's talk about the embedded shows and kind of lead into the UFC 218.
Okay.
It's Max Holloway doing lots of cool shit that I didn't always know was an option. So to show him fight week, he's kind of like the cowboy Cerrone, but he's not doing the extreme sports. He's doing cool shit. And one of the things he's doing is he's going to like an axe throwing place, where you can basically rent a lane. They give you these mini axes, and you're trying to throw them into a target and hit a bullseye. This is like a normal thing he does. He was in Detroit when he did this, and I looked it up.
Detroit.
Chicago's got a bunch of these.
Oh, so
there's none
totally
locally.
do that.
I want to do this.
Yeah.
And then another day, he's doing, it's not a bowling alley, but they have bowling pins set up, and you get a lane, and there's like 2 sides, kind of like if you were playing the bags game, like you have the 2 sides, but then there's 10 pins on each side. You take a football. You're throwing a football trying to knock the pins over.
This is in Detroit?
Yeah.
I never heard of this.
Like, me neither. Like, that's cool shit. Like, I didn't know this stuff existed.
Yeah.
So he's doing all that. And then I see Francis Ngannou, like, super humble guy. They're following him around. They go to the face-offs, and he talks to Overeem during the face-off. You're going to sleep on Saturday night.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit, man. That guy means business.
Uh-huh. I will break you.
Yeah, totally.
Right.
And then there was that Jose Aldo that I sent you, that interview question where they asked him, like, how was the weight cut? And the female translator says, just to fuck the gravedigger straight up the ass.
That's why
But that was like the second definition, because the interviewer was going, I don't know exactly what you're saying. Can you clarify it? And she's like, oh, yes, he likes to play and just to fuck the gravedigger straight up the ass. Like, oh, I love that woman, whoever this is. That's classic.
She has no idea what she's saying.
But it's not. Remember how Ed Soares always used to come into the octagon for all the Brazilian fighters, and all the Brazilian people would say he is not translated correctly.
Because there'd be this long answer, and Ed was like, he's fine.
Yeah, like he's not saying
That's not what he said.
Like, you're totally cheating out of us. So I wonder if this is like a lot of shit that was said, and we're missing out on the awasomeness of this.
Maybe Suarez was like, you can't.
Yeah,
I can't.
I'm
not saying that out loud. No.
Yeah.
So, but it was. I laughed. I watched it. I was sitting at work, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Because the first time, I'm like, did I just hear that right? I'm like, there's no fucking way that's what was said. Oh, that was awesome.
I thought it was going to be like broken English where it sounded like that, but she actually said those words out loud. I'm like, wow.
So we had that. And then as far as like the fights, the one, talk about the undercard, there were some good fights. Angela McGanna was on that. And, you know, I hate this woman with a passion because all the shit with Cyborg.
Yes.
That. During the fight, the most offense she generated was like getting her titty whipped out during the fight. And they actually had to stop the fight. And then the ref's like, can you put your titty away? Try not to look at it.
Let me help you with that.
Yeah. And that, like, her tit was exposed for a good 15 seconds.
Oh, nice. Was it a nice tit?
It's nice.
It's not bad. Nice
Who
titty.
am I to say it's not so nice? But again, this woman's lost 5 fights in a row. She hasn't won since 2011.
Maybe it was a strategy on her part.
She's going down the Andre Arlovsky part. Strategy.
To have the tit come out. It's a strategy.
No, I think like the losing tactics. But that's neither here nor there.
Yes.
And then we get into the main card. And I want to say, I don't think I want to see anybody under 135 pounds. Maybe some of the females. But I'd just say as a general guideline on the main card. Because we're not getting the finishes. So we started off with Tecia Torres versus Micelle Watterson. Boring.
I thought she retired after that fight she had with Jędrzejczyk. Is that her? Is that who I'm thinking of?
I don't know.
Torres. I thought Torres got tore up.
She was like making out with her girlfriend beforehand.
Oh, nice.
Making out afterwards, and then
Felice Herrig? No.
She was on there. Oh. She won a split decision.
Yeah.
It's okay fight. And then we get to the Justin Gaethje versus Eddie Alvarez.
Brutal.
And the first thing I want to say is I just want to credit Eddie Alvarez for actually doing what he said he was going to do. He said, listen, I'm going to stand and bang it out.
He did.
Did it. How'd you like that? We just rewatched that.
I thought, you know, the Gaethje strategy seems to be the same every time. Forehead forward and move forward. And just
leg kick heavy, high guard.
Yep. I mean, he was beat the shit out of Alvarez's left leg. I mean, to the point where he could barely stand on it. You know.
Yeah.
So, and I think that was the one time Alvarez did a takedown in the third, maybe when he was like he couldn't stand anymore.
And then he tried to pull guard at that one point, and he's like, "What are you doing?
Yeah,
like, fuck off."
He couldn't stand anymore. But you're right. Alvarez, you know, was a guy who came a year and a half ago, said that he wanted to be more of a fan fighter, and I think he made a big fan out of me. I mean, he did what he said he was.
That was
a
war of attrition. Just it's going back and forth, and I love it. And like both their faces are fucked up, and Eddie's is to a point. It looks like he's got a softball in his right cheek, and then Gaethje's targeting it, so he's like jab, left hooking at it all day. And you get to the third round, and you got to credit Alvarez for the smart strategy too of working the body.
Yes.
Gaethje's going with the high guard, the elbows up, and the body is wide open, so he's just digging body shots in on him.
I feel like it sucked the life out of Gaethje as the fight went
on.
Because
he saw it in the third round, like there was that point, like he's super fucking tired right now, and then they got to the middle, and Alvarez lands that knee, like
flush right to the chin.
It looked like an early stoppage to me.
Oh, man.
I think Gaethje was going for a takedown.
He tried to get up and went face first.
No, that was strategy. He was just a little tired.
Playing like possum.
Okay. False sense of security out of Eddie Alvarez. Like, oh, he thinks he got me. You didn't got me, bitch. I'm still ready. So, but again, I appreciate both these guys because this is like an old school way of fighting. I don't know if it's long for your career, but I fucking love it. And I love Gaethje with the leg kicks because that's one of my favorite things.
I know you like the leg kick. You're a big fan of that.
Hell yeah. But both of them got a nice trip to the hospital after that one. There were no... I mean, I think both of them won, maybe.
Yeah.
At least the heart of the fans, and they got a fight of the night. Fucking
well deserved. That was they put some work in. So
yeah,
that's pretty crazy. And then what? You want to talk about Overeem fight now?
Well, I want to say, like, I'd like to see Gaethje fight Nate Diaz next, but I don't know if Nate is ever going to fight anyone. I just want people, or a Barboza maybe for Gaethje. I want people that are going to stand with him and trade it out. And just a war of attrition. Let's see who's the tougher man tonight.
I don't know. That'd be a tough one. I don't know who'd win that. I think Nate would box him up pretty good. I like that fight as a fight.
Well, it's the leg kicks. They're the equalizer, right?
I like it as a 5-rounder. As a 3, I think Gaethje's got a big chance to win that one. Because Nate can't drag it into that 4th and 5th round with the cardio. Man, and you know, like the Diaz brothers don't check leg kicks. They just take them.
Exactly. That's why I see it. Like, this has a recipe for just fireworks, man.
Could be crazy.
Fireworks.
Yep.
You had Henry Cejudo versus Sergio Pettis. Another fucking boring fight. I'm going to talk about it. And then
how
about the Francis Ngannou versus Alistair Overeem? And talk to me about the Overeem physique. What'd you think?
Dude, when I saw this man in the weigh-ins, I'm like, what happened? Where did he go? He's like the incredibly shrinking man. I mean, he looks fit and in shape, but he is tiny compared to 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, he was 247, and before he was 265, but cutting to get to 265.
Yeah.
But don't you think this version looked better than we've seen him in the last couple
limber
of fights?
And whatever you want to call it, like he had looked loose. But one thing I want to say, like, I feel like his striking has become sloppier as time gone on. I don't know. It just seems like to me like he's not defending well. He's kind of just reaching a lot. I don't know what the deal is with the ream. Maybe he was just so big before. He was just clobbering people. I'm not sure. But he looked very sloppy in this fight, I thought. What happened could have been avoided had he had better
Well, he came out aggressive. You know, he like basically ran across, threw a strike, clinched up, and was trying. I don't know if he was trying to get the takedown. It was not working.
Nope.
Ngannou was having none of that.
Nope.
And I thought for sure we're gonna see the running man this whole fight. Like, I'm just gonna run and try to tire this guy out, but nope. Ngannou lands the uppercut from hell, and
jeez, with the left too.
Yeah, and he was his wrong foot forward, so he's like throwing it backwards too, and he lands it, and fucking that is the most devastating uppercut knockout I've ever seen. And Overeem was stiffened up, and Ngannou landed an extra shot, and then Murgulata comes in to try to break it up, and he can't even get Ngannou off, and Ngannou's just looking at him like, no, I guess I'm done fighting now. Like, Jesus Christ, is that guy strong?
What do you think was worse? Was it Bisping and Dan Henderson, or this one?
This one.
You think so?
Yeah, because it's a heavyweight. So they think about the power generating. And they said that Ngannou's got the hardest puncher in the world now. And I know it's debatable to see, because I wanted to see who else has hit this fucking machine.
Well, they haven't had us hit the machine yet.
Exactly, because we're breaking shit left and right.
That's right.
But this guy's power is unbelievable.
It is. It's crazy.
And I think Anthony Rumble Johnson even tweeted out and said that he sparred with this guy. He's like, that guy, he's got scary power. And if Anthony Rumble Johnson's saying that, I would imagine Rumble is probably up there in the top 5 guys as far as like striking power, if not number 2.
Yeah.
But man, that was devastating. And I'm glad it went that way. I wanted to see a first-round knockout. This guy is super humble, and it was as funny as fuck to watch the post-fight interview. All these reporters asking Ngannou questions, and then if he was like, "What did you ask me?" Like, nothing, chocolate chip cookies, suck my thumb. Like a bunch of pussies, they're so afraid of him. Like, you can ask questions. Do you think he's going to really get up and beat your ass?
Yeah, that would be not good for his
career. It's not going to happen.
It would be bad for his career.
But everybody just, like, bowed down in their line of questioning because they're just so afraid of this
big
man.
dick striker.
Seriously,
like, just
he might come over, fuck your wife and your mom.
That's right.
You never know.
Make you suck his dick after.
And then it got weird in the cage because
totally ignored me on that.
No, I heard you, but it got weird in the cage because Ngannou was talking about weird shit happening in Libya, slavery in Libya. He's like, fuck slavery, fuck racism. Like, dude, you're losing me. I'm like, with you. But now we're going like weird. Should cut the interview a little bit shorter. But it seems like obviously the next challenge for Stipe, no? We're making that title fight.
It's going to happen. They announced it today. It's Sunday, the night and they're going to make that happen. I am really curious how that's going to play out because that is a really scary fight for Stipe, but he's crafty. I don't know. I want to see Ngannou against a wrestler is what I want to see. I want to see how he handles adversity and being put on his back. But just like with Overeem when he was big, it didn't really happen. So I wonder if it just will never. I wonder if nobody can put him down.
Like, well, he didn't even break a sweat either. No. That's right. And he's been training at the UFC's whatever that Fighter Institute thing in Nevada, basically living there for this whole training camp. And then they're asking Dana White, like, who got the bonuses? And I think there were 2 fight of the nights, and they weren't going to give a performance bonus. Someone asked him, don't you think you should probably give Ngannou a bonus? He's like, oh, yeah, we're going to take care of him. I don't need him knocking on my door. Like, man, everyone's afraid of that guy.
Yeah.
He seems super humble, super likable story. I like this kind of a heavyweight. This is bringing back some drama to the heavyweight division. Like, Stipe is so plain Jane. I mean, he seems like a great guy, but he does nothing for me as far as moving the needle.
No.
This guy's fucking terrifying.
He is terrifying.
I want to see that. And based on history, he should knock Stipe the fuck out and become the next heavyweight champion.
Should.
Right?
You never know, Matt.
That's right. And what do you do with Overeem? I have no idea who to match this fucking guy up with.
Either Bellator or put him in, like, K1 type stuff, like striking again. But Bellator makes a lot of sense. But I like to see him in the heavyweight tournament. I don't know how many fights he's got left. Didn't he just renew his contract?
I think he did for like probably 15 fights. They just tie everybody up forever.
But I don't know what to do with that guy. I mean, he's been around the block and back again, so
yeah. And
maybe he can cut down to 205.
Yeah, and think about how many times has he been knocked out? Like,
a lot.
Should we start talking about, hey, you might want to take some time off?
Yeah, I think it's 12 or 13.
And that's just talking in MMA. How about all the kickboxing fights he's been? This guy's been in probably well over 100 fights if you want to add in kickboxing, MMA, and everything.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now.
Again, I wonder too, as far as like your brain, are the heavyweights going to suffer more CTE just based on the impacts that they're receiving? So does it scale based on weight class?
Maybe 18 times he's been KO'd.
Woof.
In kickboxing and martial arts together. 18 times, and he has a total of 74 fights.
Oh shit!
That's a lot of fights, and it's a lot of knockouts. So
yep.
I don't know. I would like to see him maybe go elsewhere because I don't see Overeem doing well in this current crop of heavyweights. And there's still, you know what? There's a guy that's from Chicago, Curtis Blades, who's on the undercard a lot, but he's doing all right.
He's in the top 10. I think he's ranked number 9 right now.
He's building. He's still young. I think he's like 24. So, I mean, as a heavyweight, that's like a baby, basically.
Yeah, these guys are damn near 40 almost, all of them.
So, I mean, the heavyweight division, I think in 2-3 years, if they keep this up, will be solid, but I don't see Overeem in this picture. So I don't know. I would like to see him go elsewhere. I would like to see him do something, but I fear for his safety. He's entering, like, freaking Bigfoot territory at this point, like where I'm wondering, wait a second, did you see how his fucking head got snapped back so bad?
I have the picture here, and I'm going to post it because the UFC tweeted that out, so it's postable.
It's bad. I mean, he's this far away from having his head, like, pop off.
It looks straight out of a fucking movie.
Yes.
I'm surprised he didn't get airborne, but he stiffened right up, too.
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit, man.
It's scary. I don't know, so we'll see.
I love it. Knockouts, that's what we want. And we go to the main event. Max Holloway versus Jose Aldo 2. Jose threw some leg kicks this time around.
Yeah.
Was just headhunting the whole fight. Gassed himself out. Max Holloway ends up finishing him in, I think it was the 3rd round. But now a lot of people are questioning, like, what's next for Jose? Because he's lost twice to Max. You can't really, was he going to fight him a 3rd time for the title?
You should fight
really
Mighty
make
Mouse.
sense.
Mighty Mouse!
Well, TJ Dillashaw is getting that one finally. Dana White said, fuck.
Oh, it's going to do it for
he's
sure?
like, fuck this. It's Dillashaw versus Mighty Mouse at 125. That's happening.
Okay.
So, well, credit to Holloway for winning this fight.
Yeah.
I think he got a couple slaps in on this one. He's doing a little Diaz's. But, I don't know. I like the heavier weights.
He took a little bit of a beating himself, you know. His face got a little fucked up.
But he's Hawaiian. He's tough as fuck.
Yes, he
He
is.
doesn't
Oh,
care.
wow, they're crazy, man.
Him and I think his training partner, who's it, Yancy.
Medeiros?
Yeah. He was in a war, too. He got the other fight of the night.
Did he?
Another great fight.
Okay.
So what do you think the buy rate is going to be for UFC 218?
550.
Pretty close.
I think it's in that middle range.
I'd say about 500.
Yeah. No, I don't think it's going to be that great.
No, because you didn't have like this huge fight. I mean, if it was, well, the fight was supposed to be Max Holloway versus Frankie Edgar. Then Edgar got hurt. Jose had to take it on short notice. A decent fight. I mean, 3 out of 5 were good. Those 2 other were shit. But
yeah,
you know, overall, I'd say you err on the positive side as far as like the outcomes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's all I got for that. Do you got anything else?
No.
All right. Did some news we got.
All right. Well, it appears that speaking of UFC champs, George St. Pierre is suffering from a case of colitis. If you recall, he was having a hard time during training camp for his fight that he just had, and he had to take a few weeks off because he was having stomach problems.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's related to his diet or whatever's going on, you know, but he's going to be out indefinitely at this point until that clears up. So I kind of puts a damper in things, and I think Dana this week or last, he said something about, you know, if George vacates the title, he's going to be pissed off at him. So
it's just, why is it's the grudge? That's what it is. I'm like, why is Dana so pissed off? It's because GSP left at the height of his fucking popularity, right? And remember that press conference where he was just throwing GSP on their bus? Like, what the fuck? He's just going to take time off? What the fuck does that mean? He didn't even talk to me about this, blah, blah, blah. So we're still carrying this grudge, man. He's your next biggest draw.
Yeah.
Like, you have Conor McGregor, who Dana White was talking about may never fight again. He doesn't know. And
he's fighting in Irish bars.
Right. Allegedly. And then you have John Jones, who's fucking out for another indefinite. We don't know. Your next biggest star is Chris Cyborg.
She's coming up. She's fighting soon, a couple weeks.
After GSP, because I think GSP is still a step up.
Yeah.
And then you have him fight in Canada, and you fucking sell out another 55,000 seat arena.
Right. I'm coming home.
Yeah,
coming
seriously.
Home. Tell the world that I'm coming home.
But with whatever this problem is, he's got rectum and colon problem. I don't know if he's going to come back, is he?
GSP?
Oh.
He might.
Well, he seems like he's the kind of guy that needs all the conditions perfect for him to fight. So I don't think he's coming back. Let's say it right now.
If it clears up, you never know.
But again, you could ride off into the sunset as a champion for the second time.
Maybe he will.
You know, not a bad thing.
Maybe he will.
Not a bad thing. Let's see. What do I got? Oh, I heard there's a rumor of Fedor versus Bigfoot 2 happening in July. Why are they going to do that?
I don't know, because it'll
Kill
sell
the Bigfoot?
Yep.
Then we just did Rigo Verhoeven versus Bigfoot in Glory. That wasn't blasphemous enough?
I would say it's not in Bigfoot's best interest to fight the Fedor at this point.
Nope. What else you got?
You know, Cerrone was recently on the Fighter and the Kid podcast, and he was talking about what's gonna be happening. That's a lot of foam.
Yeah, I'm trying to kill it.
what's gonna be happening for his career moving forward, and he wants to move back to 155. He doesn't like being at 170. He says he walks around at 175 and feels like he might be in a disadvantage, and he's going to stop taking like 1 million fights every year.
Well,
you know, so I don't know. It just seems like he's aging slowly. Maybe he's starting to see that taking 6 fights a year, 5 fights a year might be a little bit much. So he'll maybe dials it down to 4. And
which is still a lot.
Right?
I think 3 is probably the right amount.
3 is right, and I would say 3 is a safe number. And then I don't know how I feel about him moving to 155 because I like him at 170.
Well, if you're 175, you should be fighting at 170.
Yeah.
Especially if you're on the tail of the career, you should be going up in weight versus down because people are going to be faster down. So you're losing speed as you get older. And that weight cut is getting harder. It's dumb. I hate when people are back and forth. Just go up and weight. It's okay. So you have a few losses. It's not like you're losing to Pi 1 and Pi 2.
No. He's had some tough fights at 170. So there's a guy who just, you know, the elusive belt for Cerrone.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. But
I wonder if he thinks he has a shot at 155 to get that belt. I don't know.
I don't know. He's just probably looking at it. I'm not being successful. I was successful at 155. Well, you're also successful at 170 for a little bit.
He was.
You know? Just running into murderers. Like, it's going to happen. So what else is going on? I saw Conor McGregor had to go to court for a speeding ticket, and he wore an Adidas sweatsuit, like the tracksuit to there. So is he slowly morphing into like the main character from Grand Theft Auto to be like, here, look at him. Like, that's what he wore into court.
That's him?
Yes. And then that was a guy with him. He looks straight out of Grand Theft Auto at this point.
That is weird.
And is this something we need to worry about? Like, if he thinks this is acceptable now?
Was it Irish court?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, maybe maybe they're more lax there. I don't know.
Yeah, but you're wearing a fucking tracksuit.
Maybe. I mean, and then there's alleged like rumors of him fighting in a bar against Irish mobsters. And
yeah.
Is he just going off the deep end?
That's what I'm wondering because, like we was talking about Dana White saying, I don't know if he's gonna fight again. Like, what are we doing? Maybe
he's like in a cocaine bender kind of a thing. Like he's just out there fucking getting high all the time and doesn't know what's real, what's not real. And, you know, that nose candy will make you do crazy things.
Well, you're making $100 million. I think that's changing people. And I think that's raising the question, too, of fighter pay. Like, at what point is it too much money? Because you need to keep the fighters hungry. I'm always advocating.
Now you're saying this.
I'm advocating that everyone should be getting paid more, but now you've paid a guy too much money and he doesn't need you. So you have to find that balance. You got to give him just enough. Because even Nate Diaz, I think he got paid too much.
Oh, he did.
Because if he's not fighting, it's too much in my book. And I say that with a grain of salt because I'm just greedy and I want to see these guys fight.
I was going to say you are greedy.
I want them to get paid, but I want to see them fight. And if they don't have the incentive, if money's the incentive, then you're paying them too much.
Yeah. It's possible.
What else? Anything else?
I'm good.
Got a bunch of shit.
Do you?
I got to try to find that. I'm going all out of order now.
Whatever.
It'll all work out. Talked about that one.
Show me the money, Matt.
Maybe. Just enough. Do you remember when a while ago I was asking the question about when a fighter that was the champion and they lose their belt, why do they always think it was their belt? Like, I need to get back my belt or whatever. Joanna Jędrzejczyk was talking about Rose Namajunas, and she said, oh, she's just taking care of my belt. I'm the real champion. And then Ben Askren had tweeted out at her. He said, sorry, when you get knocked down twice and finished, you're not the real champion. That's highly delusional thinking. Like, that's nice. That's the first time I've actually heard another fighter address that, whatever it is, the possessiveness of that. I mean, I guess in Joanna's case, she was the only one that had that belt. And maybe in Ronda's case, she was the only one that had that belt. But some of these people, I'm like, it's just, it transfers. That's the nature of the business. That belt is going to keep going on unless you left the sport like a GSP. But again, he left as champion, but that belt goes on and on. Yeah. It's not your belt. It's your belt for a little bit until you lose.
When you really think about the whole sport in general, it is a lot of stupid chaos that you consider that you're in a sport where you hold this thing that's considered the cream of the crop for such a short time, and then like it gets passed around like some like $2 whore.
Yeah, damn right.
You know what I mean? You knew where I was going. So it's weird to me that that's the lay of the land in combat sports. You know, like even it's just strange to me in some ways, and there is that whole stigma of I have the belt. You're right, like this is my belt.
But I feel it changes people too, because now I look at Max Holloway and he's not super humble. I'm kind of not a fan. Like, he was way too cocky for my liking.
Super cocky.
But I think that's part of me. I'm always rooting for the underdog. So like once you become a champion, I feel like I turn on you. Like, I don't like this fucking guy.
In any other direction.
Yeah.
No, I mean you've seen it. Like I feel like Rashad Evans comes to mind. I think once he held that belt, that fucked him up. Like I think like it didn't quite like. I think he even said it himself. Like there's all that pressure, and now you're you know you're just kind of. You don't train the same, and you know now guys are trying to get you. And GSP had said this about the pressure of guys are preparing their whole life to fight you, and like you're just 10-week training camp, another guy who's trying to kill me, and it's just over and over again. So I get where Joanna's coming from. I don't know, but a part of it I think is maybe the fighters trying to motivate themselves to get over that mountain again, because I think it's a big deal when you get KO'd or whatever.
And tap the strikes.
Right.
She won't even address that.
Well, we're not going to talk about that.
That never happened. I never attempted strikes.
No.
Oh, yeah, you did.
It's on tape.
You want to see it?
We saw it multiple times, but yeah. I don't know. The fight business is really weird. I have to say. It's a strange thing. But, which, again, I don't give a shit about belts. I just want to see cool matchups.
Yeah.
And, whatever. Doesn't matter to me. What else you got?
Damon Martin tweeted out, he said, just a friendly reminder. He said, the UFC extends a fighter's contract every time a fight is offered and declines. Legally, they have to offer, he's talking about Nate Diaz, Nate fights to keep him under contract. And Nate's issue isn't with opponents, it's with what money is being offered. So what do you make of that practice of, it seems like an indefinite contract then, no? They just, we offered him a fight and he declined it, but now that extends him for another year. Is that legal?
Seems egregious, Matt.
It sure does. Is that going to hold up in a court of law?
I don't know. You know, if anybody's going to take the UFC to court, it'd be a Diaz brother or like a Jose Aldo or a Conor McGregor.
I think Conor
those three.
It out.
Maybe he will.
I hope so. Been in court. Might as well keep going. I saw Shane Carwin officially retired on Reddit.
He's selling everything he owns on
I saw that
Facebook.
Too. Like, oh no, man! I hope times aren't hard for that man.
It seems like I think he had a divorce happen recently.
Yeah.
And there was some shit that went down there, and he's selling everything he owns. Like it's weird. Everything MMA related.
And he was trying to get in that Bellator tournament, and I guess they couldn't come to terms as he wanted to be an alternate. But how fucking crazy would have that been if you got him in that tournament too?
Be great.
Can you make it a 12-man? Why do you have the light heavyweights in, though? It should be just killers, right?
Yeah.
Knock out a King Mo, knock out a Ryan Bader. Throw a Roy McDonald in there, throw a Shane Carwin.
That is the craziest
I want him in there because that's
so
just badass, man.
He's crazy.
I know.
He's like, fuck it, I'm getting in. So, but that's just insanity. I think he thinks he's going to run around people, probably. Is that what he's thinking?
He might. You never know. I think he's skillful. He's smart enough to be in each of the fights. I don't know if he'll be successful.
He's gonna
like how about him against Fedor?
That's okay. I like his chances, but I mean,
him against Frank Mir. Like there's interesting matchups.
I don't
man.
like that, dude. Frank outweighs him by 50 pounds.
I know, but that's why I want to see it, right?
Oh my God,
fuck me.
That's crazy.
I think he beats Roy Nelson for sure.
You think so?
Him versus Roy
Big
Nelson.
Country?
Yeah,
maybe. Big Country's really good at jiu-jitsu though.
But he never uses it. He just throws his overhand right. I just spam right hands. Yeah. All fucking fight.
Rubs his belly.
Yeah.
Eats those cheeseburgers.
Look at me, my mullet.
Okay.
Getting old, man. It's getting old.
You've never liked him.
Well, it's his body is offensive. You're not a fucking fighter with that body. Fuck off. Go eat cheeseburgers somewhere else. Ain't got time for that shit. What else? Jeremy Stevens versus Choi is scheduled. That looks like a fucking barn burner. Remember, who was it? Him and Cub Swanson? That just beat the fuck out of each other? Like, this guy can't be knocked out. Or he can, but he's like a zombie. The Korea zombie, but different.
He's a Chinese zombie, I think.
I don't know. But it was fucking interesting as fuck. I think the last thing I have, let's see. Johny Hendricks got a kangaroo.
What?
The fuck is this?
Are you kidding me?
He says, this is my new addition. What the hell is this about? This happened a few weeks ago, but I forgot to bring it up.
Okay. Sure.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
I don't know.
You're trying to
Going off the deep end.
get the horse meat, but he's gonna raise this to eat it, a little kangaroo meat.
That'd be so sad. You have a little thing that lives with you for 6 months and then you kill it and eat it?
Hey, he might be going into voodoo now, for all I know, to try to fucking turn the tides.
Super creepy.
If Greg Jackson and Mike Winklejohn aren't working, I'm going to kangaroo meat. Let's try something different.
Maybe he'll have to anally rape the kangaroo like for 6 months.
Whatever, man.
Inject it with
It'll all work out. Or not.
I said that out loud.
Moving right along. Trying to move right along.
The nuts.
Fucking shit won't go.
Questions.
I'll just keep asking. All right. Ask the nuts. How will we remember Michael Bisping once he's gone?
I think the thing that comes to mind for me is still when he spit.
You goddamn right.
He's such
an
asshole.
Fucking spitter.
He's such an asshole.
Who is that?
Jorge Masvidal? No.
No, you're close.
Jorge Rivera?
Yeah, Rivera.
Yeah. Spit in his freaking corner. Like, I think he's just a dick, like in general. But he's probably a cool dude to be around. But he's like just got this dickish side to him. So it's just
and I think he's more dick than not. And I think this nice guy image is just a facade. I don't know if he's a nice guy. I feel like he's just trying to play up the dick, but it's really him.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Maybe he's matured as he's gotten older.
And lost eyesight.
That too.
I don't know. He'll always remind me of slipping off that, whatever it was, playing ping pong or foosball. I don't remember.
Ping pong.
He slipped off the table against Mayhem Miller. That's my favorite Michael Bisping moment. Well, second. I think the best one is the Dan Henderson knockout.
Mm-hmm.
That was so satisfying. So satisfying.
He had a good career after that for a while. Got the belt and everything.
Yeah, he got a lucky win. That's all it is. Lucky win. Carol West asked, what was the better fight for you guys on this last card? Justin versus Eddie fight or the Yancy versus Cowboy? Well, they're both exciting as fuck. I like the Justin versus Eddie fight more just because the stakes are higher. Like two higher ranked guys. And Eddie could have decided just to take the fight to the ground and chose not to.
If you wanted to, yeah.
And fucking paid the price. So you look at his face and imagine what his leg looks like. Probably looks like Uriah Faber. Well, maybe not that bad because I think Jose Aldo murdered Uriah Faber in that one fight.
He did.
The zombie leg.
It was horrible.
Oh,
that's bad. Jared
Christensen asks, Ben Askren retired undefeated. How will he be remembered?
I don't think he will.
Exactly.
I hate to say that. Unless he's vying for like something. He's trying to talk some shit, get in the UFC and get into a fight, but I don't think that'll ever happen.
He'll never fight in the UFC.
No, but I just don't think people will remember him. I'm sorry. They just won't.
No, I mean, I think he got paid and good for him to go somewhere else and get paid, but you fought a bunch of nobodies.
Yeah. And
you'll never be remembered for that. But again, if you bring him to the UFC, do you want another John Fitch? No. So
no thanks.
I have got no problem with him never being there. Brandon Mason asks, do you think Jose Aldo should retire or move up to 155?
I'd like to see him move up. See what happens. At least one fight.
Well, he was fighting there for a while, wasn't he? 155?
Yeah, but I'd like to see him move up. Just to see what happens. I forgot who was the champ at 155. Do you remember?
No.
I don't remember.
I don't remember anything.
I don't
even know. Was Michael Bisping the 155 champion?
He was not.
Well, it's Conor McGregor, isn't it?
Isn't it? Maybe. I don't know. Is it? No.
Yes. Conor McGregor still is the title holder.
It is. I thought. Okay.
Someone else has the interim belt.
That's right.
Who is it? Tony Ferguson.
Thank you.
I'm just playing games right now.
You know the answer?
Yes.
Okay, I don't know the answer.
It's okay. It's fucking midnight, and you've had a long week.
I have.
It's excusable. And also, he's asking, have you guys played the UFC 3 beta yet? No, I have not, and I heard that EA is having a lot of problems lately. There's the little issue with the Battlefront 2 and loot boxes and
they're not.
You hear any of this?
Nuh-uh.
Oh yeah, there's huge public outcry because basically, if you want it to be good in that Battlefront 2 game, you could just buy your way to be better. And instantly, if you were going to play PvP, say you're like level 100 and all the other guys are level 1, so you would just mop everybody up if you spent a ton of money. versus progressing through it.
Oh.
So then the fans blew up and said, this is fucking bullshit. We're not going to buy the game. So they decided to turn off all the microtransactions so that it would just be a progression-based game, how it should be. But what I'm hearing is the EA UFC 3 game is the same scenario, but worse. Maybe the worst for microtransactions. So I'm not even going to play the fucking game.
I'm not.
I'm on a boycott right now.
Don't even ask for a review copy. I don't want to look at it.
I know. I'm sorry. I don't even want to get involved in it.
I haven't even turned my TV on in like weeks.
Good for you.
Yeah. Fuck the TV. I don't watch TV.
No, I play. What game am I playing? I went back to playing Battlefield 1 while I'm doing the stationary cardio.
There you go.
Like,
you still got servers up for that?
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
It's only. I mean, it's still relatively new. That's the most recent Battlefield.
Gotcha.
And Henrico Machado will close it out. It's time. Pound sign Nuts Roll. Pound sign Matt Rape Train. Pound sign Ingo Sugar Daddy. Would you rather know when you are going to die or how you are going to die, and you can't change the time or method of your death?
When?
Yeah. When is more important than how. I don't care.
Yeah.
I just don't want to drown. I keep
tough.
having this dream about it.
You're drowning?
No, but I have... Every time I see like a weird thing on TV where someone is drowning or they're underwater and can't get out, I'm like, wow, that's very familiar to me. Like, it's going to happen or it's happened before to me.
Interesting. You want me to Freudian analyze that?
Sure.
It means that you're, they say that is your subconscious mind telling you that you feel like something is out of your control and you feel helpless.
Feel helpless.
Yes. Drowning is one of those things where you're being like suffocated by something in your life that you have no control over, and you're worried about it subconsciously. Don't know what that is, but think about it.
Thanks. Moving right along. Would you rather be able to control animals but not humans with your mind, or control electronics with your mind?
Electronics.
You goddamn right.
Hell yeah.
I'm taking over the internet. All you congressmen, all you're going to get to watch all day is gay porn.
Nice.
24/7. Every time you turn on anything electronic.
Gay porn.
Well, they might enjoy that, so maybe I'm going to make it bestiality. It'll be horses fucking
Other
men.
horses? Oh, man. Wow.
Oh, wait.
That's
No,
disgusting.
maybe they'll still enjoy that. I don't know. Those fucking assholes and their
That's disgusting.
whatever they're doing with the net neutrality. Fuck those guys.
Yes.
Fuck them in their asses. Would you rather suddenly be elected a senator or suddenly become a CEO of a major company, and you won't have any more knowledge about how to do either job than you do right now?
I'll do the CEO. Fuck the Senate.
Yeah, I mean, unless I'm running everything, I need to be running everything. Running it right into the ground. We're giving nothing back to the community. Moving right along. Fuck, marry, kill, Celebrity Edition number 4.
He's keeping track.
Adrian.
He could be bullshitting us on the
Lecky?
number. Well, I know. Oh, that's not bad. Oh, wow. I like the white dress.
Yep. Ashley Greens.
I don't know who that is. She's a little skinny.
And Genesis Rodriguez.
Oh, this is the first one I'm a little tripped up. Don't know what to... Scroll back up. Sorry.
Overall?
That's not bad. Fuck, marry, kill. I gotta do her. What is her name? Adrienne Palicki. I'm gonna fuck her. I think I gotta kill the middle one, and I'll marry the last one.
Okay, I'm gonna mix it up. I'm gonna marry the first one, fuck the second one, and kill the third one. The third one looks too clean cut for me.
Okay. That's why I want to.
I want more meat on him.
I'm gonna dirty her up a little bit, Matt.
That's too skinny. I think my picture made her juicier than she really is.
Make her call me daddy.
That's fine. You can have it. Canales, you got
Poppy.
anything?
I do.
Hey, Poppy.
That's right. That's pretty hot, though. You ever had a girl call you Poppy before?
No.
It has happened to me recently.
Great.
Okay. And the
What?
Netflix has a documentary out. I think I mentioned this
Which one?
before. It's called Jim and Andy, The Great Beyond, and it's a behind-the-scenes look at when Jim Carrey played.
Yeah. How is that? You've been watching? Did you watch it?
I watched it.
Okay.
It is fucking disturbing. Okay, this man stayed in character for like a month and a half, and the crazy shit that happens behind the scenes, it is insanity. Jim Carrey is a lunatic, literally crazy, And I can't believe that people put up with this nonsense, but at the end of the whole thing, it seems like overall it made the role what it was, which was, it was a really great performance, but he was in character, not only as Andy Kaufman, but the other guy that, I forgot his name, that Andy played as, like, some other drunk guy. So, like, it's
Clifton.
Clifton.
Tony Clifton.
Tony Clifton. And it's amazing because, like, you should watch this because literally he met with family members and stuff because Andy died, obviously, of cancer. And it was like a weird healing experience for some of the family members because they said, like, wow, this is like I see my, my brother. Like, he did it so well. And Jim's like talks a lot in this movie, and he's got this big ass beard, and I would love to meet that guy. He's so fucking out there. And here's a guy who is like the Conor McGregor approach. He wrote himself a $10 million check, and then 2 years later, or 5 years later, or whatever, he had that money. It's crazy. Like,
so I should be writing us checks?
Yes, you should write.
That our bodies can't cash?
That's right. The power of attraction. He believes in that stuff, but I think he's an interesting dude, and it's worth your watch. It's about an hour and a half. Even if you haven't seen, you don't need to see the movie, but it's. I think there's some people in Hollywood who are very special, and he's like one of those. Like Daniel Day-Lewis, I think, comes to mind as well. Another one who gets into that like role.
I was gonna say, like, the kind of guys that just whip their dicks out and start whacking off. Special.
He's talking about Bill Clinton now.
No, like all these guys. Oh, you're not following any of the news, are you?
I don't know what's going on.
There's a lot of guys just whipping their dicks out.
It's funny.
A lot of problems happening.
Everybody's talking about this. Like, it's been going on since the dawn of time.
Yeah.
It's not like something new.
I don't know. Sometimes it's a good thing. Whip your dick.
To whip out your dick? See what happens.
See what happens.
I just made it. Is this weird that my dick is out right now? Or are you intrigued? Are you aroused? What are we going to do about this?
I don't know. I'm just saying. That'd be a good thing.
This dick is not going to suck itself. I didn't say that out loud.
You could be by yourself looking at yourself in the mirror when you're saying that.
Wow. Okay.
I'm just saying.
It's possible.
I'm trying to make it all good.
Whatever you're having, please give me two. So, yes, that's my knowledge. What do you have?
Oh, I just had this picture of Ronda Rousey inspiring a whole generation of women to punch like a spaz. The skinny nut advertisement with the over-rotation of a straight right punch.
Is that actually Ronda Rousey?
No, but it's her inspiring people with all her... Remember her shadow boxing? Yes. Like how horrible that was? Mm-hmm. She coming back to fighting anytime soon?
Don't think so. She's talking about leaning up and all this, changing her body style.
Thought she wanted to fight Chris Cyborg.
Oh, no, that's not going to happen.
Come on. Yeah, Chris Cyborg, Holly Holm, coming the end of the month.
Yeah.
Very excited. My daughter is very excited to see the Chris Cyborg.
Yeah.
Let's watch her fight. Look at it. That's all I got.
Shut it down. That has been this week's edition of MMA Nuts. My name is Ingo Weigel.
Matt Griffith. Thanks for playing.